Gorgeous colour.
Beautiful. Each one of them tells a story.
And this is a marigold and it smells divine.
Welcome back to the studio. I am here ready for the orange project. I recently got the Aperture Cob light, the 300D Mark II, and I am absolutely in love with it. It was an investment, but I think it's just perfect for what I wanted, especially to wheel around this studio, as you've just seen. It's so good. Let me show you. So these lights have been around for quite a while now, but still on the pricey side, but I'm loving using it. The light button here, you can turn down the percentage of the light, and I got the lantern, and it's just such a beautiful balanced light. This project has been a long time in the making. I want to create a garden theme. Gardening has been my absolute saviour this year for my mental health. I have discovered how much I love watching all my crops grow, the vegetables, the fruit, everything that I've grown this year. It's been amazing and honestly kept me just excited by life. I think the complexities that go into that just really interest me, because we have become such a consumerist, materialistic world that the thought of just putting this tiny little seed into some dirt and it grows into this food that sustains us, keeps us going. I think that fed my soul this year. The prospect of growing my own food and, you know, having the space to do so. I mean, I'm very privileged where I am to be able to do it, and I acknowledge how lucky I am that I can have the space to do it. But I have just spent so much time on bad days, good days. It's kept me going through, you know, having my health issues, and I just feel like it's one of those things that I want to document. And each project is a chapter in my life. Each one of them tells a story, and I want to tell the story of my garden. So in terms of props, I'm thinking maybe do I make a giant carrot? I've got a sort of idea in mind, but at the moment it just feels very predictable and a bit too safe. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. You're going to lay down? So it's the next day and I've just been sat here brainstorming my ideas. So this is something that I do quite often with this colour project, and that is just going through the props that I'm thinking of in my head and getting them out. There's no rhyme or reason to this page, it's just me just getting the colour down, visualising it a little bit. Like the pink project, some really like basic sketches, colour study, you know, just throwing things on a page and seeing where I go with it. Green project, for example. So I find it so much better for my brain if I get it down on paper. I think I'm gonna do a wheelbarrow, and it means that I don't actually have to create a giant prop because I'll have the wheelbarrow, and I'm gonna spray paint it orange, obviously. So I tested like the colour that I've got here, the Valencia. Really love this orange, so I'm definitely going with that colour. I have actually got this spray paint, but obviously on paper it looks a little bit different, but it's still the same tone, so it's not going to be too bad when it comes to like photoshopping it. I'm going to have to go and get a few of these Rust-Oleum orange spray paints so that I can cover a whole wheelbarrow, and I'm actually really looking forward to be able to use it in the garden after. So I suppose the idea of this is to make sure that I encapsulate what it feels like to me to be in the garden, and yet I still need it to be coherent with my colour project and how I'm shooting it, how I'm lighting it. So it has to be like a cross of how I feel and how I want it to be shot. I'm not sure if I'm going to do like a big arrangement of flowers like in the wheelbarrow, and I kind of feel like I want to do that. And do you know what? I feel like I've just had an idea. it has actually just come to me. One sec, sharpen this pencil. I'm using the Prismacolor Premier Orange pencil. Love sketching with these. So I'm thinking something like wheelbarrow, like loads and loads of flowers coming out onto the floor and around the set. I loved growing dahlias. I've done a shoot recently which I edited on an Adobe Live called Homegrown. Essentially, I went into my garden and picked all my flowers and used them in a shoot, and honestly, the satisfaction that gave me, growing my art from the ground, don't know, the tangibleness of growing something from scratch and then creating art with it is just so, it gets me going. I just love it. So I've got some beautiful flowers, maroons, reds, oranges, pinks, like really warm, rich tones. And I'm just so excited to shoot this because I feel like I'm ready to shoot and create with like really warm colours, especially all together. At the moment, obviously in the UK, it's very, very, very disgusting weather. And it's been raining quite a lot, which has been good, obviously, for the flowers because, well, especially for the flowers because they're getting watered all the time. As I said about the colours being so lovely and warm, I wanted to use this colour. It's like a maroony purple. I just thought it was really nice and like lush. And the past few weeks have been a bit, wow, I've just had so much work on. I've just been doing so much. We've been in the studio. I've not really documented much. You know, sometimes it's just easier just to get on with the work than document. And then Adobe approached me again about doing this Adobe Live. And I was like, you know what? I need to do some personal work again, and this will be the perfect opportunity to do it. I've been thinking about doing this project for a little while anyway. The purpose of putting the flowers in the ground was to create some art with it, so here we are. I don't know if I'm going to use sunflowers in today, but I'm going for like the warm end of the spectrum of colours, so like purples, orange, yellow, pink, red, you know, that kind of like warm sunset colours. So beautiful, look how perfect this is. This has not been opened. Yeah, I think maybe I just needed like a break after the telephone because it was quite an intense time and I felt like I wasn't prepared and ready to start on like an intense project again. I just wanted to be a bit more like playful with it. And I think sometimes as artists, I mean, you don't know when it's going to hit you, when the inspiration's going to hit you, but sometimes you just have to honour what you're feeling rather than push anything. And I think that's where I am at the moment. Gorgeous colour. These are my flowers. This is what inspired me for this project, actually, putting them in this vase and getting them all together because obviously they're all scattered all over the garden. I decided to just put them in a little vase, and then I realised that actually, look how beautiful all those colours are together and how nice is that going to be on this backdrop. I will pop the names on the screen because I'm not quite sure which one's which. And then you've got the other dahlia, and that's got such a beautiful like shape. This is like the perfect dahlia, and I've got it just at the right time. It's such a gorgeous shape and colour. I'm going to start by shooting with this one because I'm very excited to see what it's going to look like on camera, especially with this backdrop. So the next flower that I'm going to do is this one. Beautiful flower. Love the shape of this one. So I've definitely got a base image which I'm happily working with, shooting each individual flower in loads of different ways so that when I bring it into Photoshop, hopefully I've got loads of different variations so I can use that to edit them all together. We've got the purple one next. Really excited to see what this is going to look like on camera. It did not disappoint. And this is a marigold and it smells divine. So whilst I was shooting that, I decided that actually I think I needed some more green. And I've also got this really nice purpley leaf. I really love the purpley tones of the leaf of this, so I'm going to capture this one. And then we have this beautiful thistle, I think it is. I think this is a thistle. But again, I'll pop all the technical names on the screen.